Queen of Rock and Roll achieved world fame through talent and labor. But outside the footlights and cameras, she experienced a lot of pain and grief. The world-famous singer, Tina Turner, could be 85 years old on November 26, 2024. On stage, she embodied strength and freedom, danced freely, and demonstrated a strong voice. Backstage, the artist masked bruises from beatings and hid her failed personal life for years. She was able to survive domestic violence, the death of 2 children, cancer, and only at the end of life's journey to find female happiness. Tina Turner, in her lifetime, was considered one of the greatest singers of our time. During her career, she was awarded the Grammy Award 8 times. The singer also entered the Guinness Book of Records as a performer whose concert once attracted almost 200,000 people. In 1991, Tina Turner was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She carried the unofficial title of the Queen of Rock and Roll. The real name of the American singer is Anna Mae Bullock. She was born into a poor family in Tennessee in 1939. Her mother worked in a factory, and her father was a farmer and served as a deacon in a Baptist church. When she was 10 years old, her parents divorced and left the 2 girls in the care of her grandmother. Absolutely nothing from Tina Turner's childhood gave hope for a brilliant future, but everything was decided by chance. At the age of 16, she went to a concert of a local band. One of the artists, guitarist Ike Turner, invited someone from the crowd on stage. That's how Anna found herself next to him. She loved to sing, and the 24-year-old musician immediately took note of her vocals. The young man later became everything for Tina: a lover, husband, producer, director, mentor, and the worst nightmare: growing up without a father. The girl very quickly fell under the influence of her more experienced friend. She had no education, no parental support, no plans for her life, except for a passion for music. And he confidently took the novice singer under his tutelage and easily subordinated to his will. By the time the couple married, the bride was 23 and the groom 31. To get out from under the authority of Ike, she could not, and for many years, really believed that without this man is nothing of himself. The singer owed him a successful stage name. He came up with a sound name for his protégée, Tina Turner. Major concerts, growing popularity, although in the early years he paid for her performance only food and a roof over her head. No royalty singer in the eyes of the singer did not see. Successful singles and much more. True, for all this Turner invariably took payment, humiliated, beaten, and cheated. The first time he beat her pregnant before she was married, with a wooden block for stretching shoes. He always tried to beat her with some objects to save the precious hands of a successful guitarist. For 16 years of official marriage from 1962 to 1978, Tina Turner collected a whole collection of injuries: third-degree facial burns, broken ribs, bruises of all colors and sizes, broken jaw, broken lips, repeatedly broken nose. That's why the star's appearance differs in photos from different years. It's all about the shape of the nose and attempts to fix it. Everything was decided by fear and humiliation. No love, no tenderness. He used to splash hot coffee in my face, and he used my nose as a punching bag so many times that I could feel the blood rushing down my throat when I sang. I can't remember a time when I didn't have a black eye, Tina wrote in her book. Ike drank heavily and used drugs. It was under their influence that he attacked his wife. He himself explained that this is how he expressed his love. Each of the confessions had to smear makeup or hide under the costumes. Of course, the close environment saw everything, but did not interfere in the squabbles between husband and wife. By the way, during his life, Ike Turner was married as many as 14 times. According to the artist, he felt an almost manic attraction to any woman near him, but as it turned out, Tina musician perceived only as a way to make money. Sign with her, he decided solely for profit, so that the ex-wife, with whom he never divorced, could not pocket his profits. The singer was practically a slave, with no money, no protection, and no strength to resist. Along with her sons and Ike's children from past marriages, 3 mistresses lived in the house. The man did not even try to hide his cheating, and invited the women to move in, so that they would always be at hand. In general, sex, drugs, and rock and roll at its worst. 6 years after a modest wedding, no celebration of the singer did not deserve, and after the marriage, the groom dragged the bride straight to the third-rate brothel. Tina Turner tried to kill herself. When doctors managed to save her, her husband did not think to apologize. With a mixture of irony and hatred, he said he was sorry she was alive. The one who had packed stadiums and held her own confidently on stage. At home, she became gutless and uncomplaining. She did not report to the police, did not file for divorce. For many years, Tina Turner simply remained silent. Then in the US, it was unheard of for a dark-skinned woman who broke through from the bottom to the top of musical Olympus, publicly admitted that she was subjected to domestic violence. It wasn't until she was 37 that she decided she'd had enough. After another beating, she ran away from a concert in the middle of a tour and spent a long time hiding out with friends. Just 36 cents in my pocket, and that was it. I wasn't thinking about continuing to sing. All I was thinking about was where I was going to sleep. Turner shared her memories. The singer filed for divorce, embraced Buddhism, and began a solo career. She had to pay the organizers fines for disrupted tours for a long time, but it was no longer important. She got freedom. She later called her ex-husband a man who made her deeply unhappy and who cannot be forgiven. Unhappy marriage was enough to call the fate of Tina Turner hard, but even after the divorce in her life, grief has not become less. Few people know that even before marriage, the singer got pregnant at the age of 19 by another musician. The saxophonist was not going to take responsibility, so son Craig had to be raised alone. Tina then desperately needed to earn money, and most likely the child was one of the key reasons why she got involved with Ike and endured all his humiliations. 2 years later, the singer became a mom again. At the age of 21, she gave birth to her son Ronnie by her future husband. 2 days after giving birth, she had to return to the stage. Turner was a very tough manager. At 29, she became pregnant again. But amid regular cheating and beatings from her husband, she decided to have an abortion. Being an unloved child herself and not knowing family happiness, Tina could not give her sons a decent upbringing, although she sincerely loved them. Many years of suffocating atmosphere in the house and psychological violence affected their character. The boys saw a drunken father, crying mother, and heard frequent scandals. Her firstborn, Craig Turner, always suffered from loneliness and lack of parental love. Tina recounted that he was always withdrawn and shy. He did not follow in the footsteps of his father and mother and built a very successful real estate business. However, he was obviously mentally broken. At the age of 58, Tina's eldest son committed suicide. This came as a real shock to the star. She said she often chatted with Craig on the phone, and he always looked content. And 4 years later, the singer buried her youngest son. Ronald tried to build a music career and occasionally performed. The singer repeatedly stated that she lost contact with her son when he was still a teenager. The man also has a drug addiction and problems with the law. He has been arrested several times for possession of illegal drugs. In recent years, he had been battling a severe form of cancer. Turner was found dead in his home. He was 62. The star never recovered from the loss of his two heirs. When Tina Turner was almost 50, she met 33-year-old record producer Erwin Bach. Despite the age difference, a romance began between them. A year later, a young lover made the singer an offer. She refused. Tina was still afraid of men. But the beau did not give up and again called her to marry, until she answered with consent at the age of 74. In 2013, Tina Turner got married for the second time. In the same year, the singer ended her career. It was also the same year that she suffered a stroke. Almost immediately after the wedding, just 3 weeks later, the newfound husband had to prove adherence to his vows, both in sickness and in health. The star was paralyzed on the right side. She could not walk or even move. The rehabilitation took many months. This series of misfortunes did not end. 3 years after the wedding, Tina Turner was diagnosed with colon cancer. The singer long hesitated to resort to chemotherapy and hoped for alternative medicine. The cancer receded, but the kidneys failed. The chances of a donor organ were small, and Tina seriously considered euthanasia, but she was saved by her young husband. He donated his kidney to her. It's hard to imagine a more beautiful gesture of love. I said he was still young, and I was old, but he said his life was already beautiful, and he would give his kidney anyway, she said. The couple lived their last years in Switzerland. The celebrity died at the age of 84. Although much of her life was marred by hardship, she eventually found personal happiness.